Secretary Hegseth, who has spent weeks taking credit for the operations, said this during that aforementioned cabinet meeting yesterday.
I watched that first strike live. As you can imagine, at the Department of War, we got a lot of things to do. So I didn't stick around for the hour and 2 hours, whatever, where all the sensitive site exploitation digitally occurs. So I moved on to my next meeting. A couple of hours later, I learned that that commander had made which he had the complete authority to do. And by the way, Admiral Bradley made the correct decision to ultimately sink the boat and eliminate the threat. He sunk the boat, and eliminated the threat. And it was the right call. We have his back, and the American people are safer because narco-terrorists know you can't bring drugs through the water and eventually on land if necessary to the American people. We will eliminate that threat, and we're proud to do it.
So you didn't see any survivors, to be clear, after that first strike?
I did not personally see survivors, but I stand, because the thing was on fire. It was exploded and fire and smoke. You can't see anything. You got digital. This is called the fog of war.
A bipartisan push for answers regarding those boat strikes date back months. On September 23rd, a letter to Secretary Hegseth by Democratic Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island and Republican Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi established the legal requirements mandating that congressional defense committees receive military execute orders within 15 days of being issued. A second letter, sent on October 6th, asked for a written opinion from DOJ that would explain the legal basis for those strikes. And Senator Reed joins us now. He is ranking member of the Armed Services Committee. Senator, thank you for joining us. My first question is simply, have you gotten any of those answers? And then we know, secondly, that the admiral involved here, Admiral Bradley, is going to be testifying on the Hill in the days ahead. What are some questions you hope he answers?
Well, we have not yet received the information that we are legally entitled to, and we look forward to questioning Admiral Bradley. There are numerous issues involved here. I think the overall concept of the operation is not legal, frankly. I don't think the military should be employed in this law enforcement activity. And then the specific incidents that have arose regarding a second strike, which may have involved survivors in the water, that clearly would, if true, be a violation of the law, and we must hold all of the individuals involved accountable.
Senator, how concerned are your Republican colleagues on the committee about this particular incident? What are you hearing from them?
There is significant concern. I must commend Senator Wicker. He joined me in writing those letters, but also in arranging for the appearance of Admiral Bradley. This is something that my colleagues on the committee take very seriously. We have to ensure that the military of the United States fulfills its legal obligations. And one of the fundamental reasons is because if we expect our personnel to be treated under the laws of war, not to be abused or to be killed when they're, as they say, hors de combat, then we must insist that our troops follow the same laws. And that is very, very critical to all the members on the committee.
Senator, I just want to understand a little bit more about something the Secretary of Defense said there. He talked about this being the fog of war, and that's one of the reasons why he doesn't have certain information. And combat. Is striking a boat in the Caribbean and blowing it to smithereens and then again striking it when there's survivors there, if that report deems to be accurate, is that combat exactly? And is that the fog of war? And are we at war?
We are not at war, although the administration is, I think, inventing theories of being able to have combat against narco-terrorists. But the reality is that all of these operations were carefully planned. The initial attack on all these ships were remotely conceived. And frankly, even if the Secretary left viewing the scene, he had continuous contact with Admiral Bradley. He could exercise that at any moment. And I would think the first question that the Secretary would have asked was, well, why are you going back to strike the ship again? And my sense is that Admiral Bradley, being a professional officer, would have told him precisely the truth. If it was simply to sink the ship so it wouldn't be a hazard navigation, which is a very specious argument, or we have casualties in the water, and according to some reports, Secretary Hegseth has ordered all of the personnel on the ship to be killed. And if the Admiral was carrying out that order, that's an illegal order, and we have to get to the bottom of it. But Secretary Hegseth's comments are just not credible at all. In fact, I pointed out at his confirmation hearing that he lacks both the competence, the self-discipline, the temperament, and the capability to be Secretary of Defense. And we almost defeated his nomination. But he is there today and demonstrating that he lacks these qualities which are necessary to be Secretary of Defense.
So, Senator, let's turn now to another matter involving Secretary Hegseth. That is so-called Signalgate, in which he shared classified war plans over a non-government communication system, Signal, and did so inadvertently with the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic. The Pentagon Inspector General report reportedly is being sent to the Hill. So my two questions to you are, have you seen it yet? And will the public see at least portions of it in the days ahead?
Well, I expect to see it this week. And it is being sent over in a classified form. Eventually, it has to be made public, in my view. This was a very serious breach of the basic laws of protecting sensitive information. And again, it demonstrates, I think, the cavalier attitude and the deficiencies that the Secretary has demonstrated constantly.
Ranking member of the Armed Services Committee, Democratic Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island, thank you very much.
Thank you
For coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it. All right, coming up.